All right, man. I wanted to share a video. I meant to do it earlier, especially before the last Patricia and Quadra Diggs video. But hey, it's here, and I found something interesting on Twitter. And I encourage everybody to join Twitter. Got the great news and great rumors on Twitter, and it comes out that Justin Coleman is perhaps the worst coverage defender in the National Football League. Let's talk about it. We back, Motor City Sports Talk. I appreciate everybody for checking in the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. If you don't know, check my other channel out. I talk about everything sports, music, entertainment. Channel name is Goodfellas Sports TV. I appreciate everybody for tapping back in, all right? So, a screenshot will come up, and I'll link the source in the description so you can know that it's real or real, whatever you prefer to use. But, it's just, it seems that they was trying to prove a point by making Coleman a high slot corner receiver in the league, and slot is very, very important. I'll explain that in a second. But Bill Barnwell says Justin Coleman has allowed more passing yards than any football as the nearest defender in coverage this year. I think he meant football player, So therefore, he is the worst in coverage. Now, does that mean his technique is terrible? Does that mean he is the worst corner in the league? Absolutely not. All right, when you play the amount of man coverage that the Lions play, and you don't have a good pass rush, this is what happens. Justin Coleman may, go to another system, and he may be the best corner of all time. You know what I'm saying? But it's a system league, and if you're not in the right system, you get marginalized. And, for his skill set, is they put him in a lot of one-on-one situations. And in a way, the nickel position is tough to guard because you don't really have the boundary as the 12th defender. Darius Slay out on the island, that's tough. But when you playing in a nickel, you got to be on your P's and Q's, because a lot of times you got the nickel or the slot receiver bunches up, and they doing rub routes, or he getting free releases. So usually on the outside, you can control what type of release you really want to get. So if you want to put hands on them, or you want to play cushion, or whatever you choose to do, you can do it. In playing a nickel, not always. You got guys that's lining up off the line of scrimmage, and you can't really get that press on them. You got guys that's running like he got beat on the 9 route from the slot by Anthony Miller out of Memphis, who I really like when he came out of Memphis. Him and Paxton Lynch was the truth at I think it was Memphis. I like watching them, but it's a tough position to play. And then you tell me that I don't have no pass rush, that affects everything. When you don't have elite pass rush, the corners tend to suffer. And I remember people speaking bad on Darius Slay after the Keenan Allen performance, but he kept Keenan Allen out the end zone. Okay? People are really upset at Darius Slay, but Darius Slay, given the circumstances, he's the best corner that you're going to really find in the National Football League that can do what he do. The other top corners, you look at them, the Tre'Davious Whites from the Buffalo Bills. I mean, whoever else you got, DeMarcus Peters, who's been balling, Jalen Ramsey, who's been, was balling with Jacksonville. Look at their front sevens. They getting pressure. They stopping the run. They don't have to worry about really, biting on play action, because they know their front seven going to stuff it. So it doesn't necessarily mean Coleman is the worst corner, and he's made a lot of big plays, and he knocked the ball away, fumbles, and stuff of that nature. It just means that he was supposed to be a system fit. But what's wrong is, if you don't get that pressure up front, you playing all this man coverage, or you don't know how to disguise your coverage. I mean, even a rocket scientist can go out there and get burnt. Pun intended with that wordplay, right? But I find it interesting that they trying to push Darius Slay out the door just like they did Quadre. Just like they did Glover Quinn. The same thing happened to Quadre Hupp and Glover. They didn't want to, make the day position safety and suited for what they do well. Patricia say either you're going to do it my way or not do it at all. So, a lot of people don't respond to that well. And you see Quadre goes to the Seahawks for a 5th round draft pick. That was basically like trading a quarter for a whole dollar. And you see what happened. But with Coleman, I don't think he a bad ideal fit. I just think they did a poor job of putting personnel up front. And one thing I will give Jim Schwartz credit for, Mayhew credit for, is that they put a lot of emphasis on their defensive front. You know what I'm saying? Was it Van der Bosch, Averill, Sue, Fairley? I mean, you go back to Sean Rogers before them, and, Robert Porcher, Luther Ellis. You go back, before that too. They put a lot of emphasis on the front four. Lions was always able to get something from George Johnson to, so many edge rushers, Ezekiel Elliott. You got a lot out of them. So, if you don't get pressure on the quarterback, their problem was they didn't believe in drafting corners, or they didn't know how to pick the good ones. So if you get pressure on the quarterback, DBs ain't got to cover that long, and they can make plays on the ball. So now we got a staff or personnel, general manager that put more emphasis on the back end than he do the front end. So, it is what it is. I don't think he's the worst corner at all. I think you put a lot of other guys out there, they do a lot worse than him. It's just, like I said, the front end and the back end, they got to work in cohesiveness. One can't be too much weaker or stronger than the other. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Appreciate it. I link that source description. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Appreciate the love. Want to donate to the channel, just share the video. Appreciate it. One time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow, Motor City Sports Talk. We gone.